with that backdrop, even though the black body is often deceived, divided, diseased, and destroyed, the black soul is exalted, essential, elevated, and eternal. We as a people are known for the sounds that we produce, the raps that we write, the art that we create, because our collective souls are showcased through the expression of our humanity. The black soul is powerful, so much so that our souls bear witness to our connection to God, which is indeed undeniable and unquestionable. Nobody anywhere on the face of the planet would deny that black people have souls, that our souls are significant in that we are connected to God in a way that others are not. The black soul is powerful. Nothing satisfies like soul food. Nothing comforts like soul music. Nothing is as strong as a soul brother, and nobody can love like a soul sister. And love makes the world go round. It is amazing that in the midst of our bodies being assaulted, our souls seem to transform the pain of our existence and somehow produce sweet, cool lemonade from the strong, bitter taste of a sour lemon. Oh, my sister and my brethren, how I wish I was preacher enough to help you understand that your body and your soul are both sacred vessels of God. And even though your body can be touched by the hand of the enemy, your soul is untouchable. And on this day, the day before Earth Day, we are clear that God is a keeper of both the body and the soul. African descent people are connected through deep spiritual bonds that cannot be broken. We are, in a word, interdependent. This sense of interdependence causes us to feel each other's pain. Even in this very present moment, as I stand before you and preach, I am being assaulted by feelings of grief as I grieve with my brother, Reverend Washington, in the loss of his baby brother this morning. I feel what he feels. When I walk up and when I ride up the Ira Street and I see brothers and sisters on either side of the street obviously in pain and suffering, my soul is impacted by the looks, the expression on the faces of those who appear to be lost even in their own front yard. This sense of interdependence causes us to be compelled to bear one another's burdens, whether we want to or not. The reason I talk that slick black talk every day is because I ain't talking it for myself alone. I'm talking it for the ancestors. I'm talking for those whose voices were silenced. I'm talking for those who are so enmeshed in poverty that they can't figure out how to make words of protest and resistance. I talk it for you. I talk it for myself. I talk it for the yet unborn. That's why I talk it. Our interdependent spirits cause us to grapple with the reality that we are all in this together, whether we like it or not. That's why it ain't nobody black who I ain't trying to love. You need to hear what I said. There ain't nobody black. I was in a conversation yesterday at the kitchen table conversation. It was dope. It was off the meter. It was off the meter. You should have been there. There was a sister that came in who was associated with ADOS, hashtag ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery, they say. It's a movement for reparations, and they're saying that if we don't receive reparations, the person who is running for president, if they don't support reparations, turn my lights on. I knew something was wrong up in here. We celebrate. What is wrong with us? Turn the lights on, Jesus. God, how we gonna have church without the lights? You can't have church like that. I don't know what y'all be doing, man. I can't do everything. I gotta turn the lights on and everything. Jesus. God. Preach. They can turn on the lights. They can do it. And we were talking, we were having an exchange. And she came in and she was angry. She came in to disrupt the meeting and to tear me down. Right? I was like, oh, that's what it is. But I had put my thing on. You know that rock out, that big amethyst I wear? That devil chaser. I had placed it on. I had put it around my neck. I said, I might need this today. So I went to my altar because I keep it on my altar of Shango, which is in my living space. And I let it, because I laid it on the table with him so it could get charged. You see what I'm saying? Because Shango is the god of storms. I know electricity come through it. And I know everything is electrochemical in its nature. And so I place it on the altar. And then when I need it, I put it on. And it's on the altar along with my sacrifices that I leave to that indigenous African god who I ain't got no problem with it, even if you do. So I put it on and I walked in, and when she went to tripping, I said, oh, you know what? Everything is okay. It's, you know what? Because what I'm striving to do is to understand you and to express unto you a sense of unconditional positive regard and acceptance. I believe that you have the right to think what you think and say what you say. And what I'm interested in doing is figuring out a way how people who are dedicated to the hashtag ADOS ideology can be remarried and reintegrated into the larger family of those of us who are going to vote to get Donald Trump out of office. And so it's okay. We're not going to argue with each other. I'm going to love you and I'm going to bless you. Diffused all of it. Started a new committee, and we pulling together, this committee and I are going to pull together the Atlanta Black Reparations Summit, where we bring in everybody from our community so that they can have voice on this issue, so we can become solid and be able to express a sense of solidarity around this issue, because now is the time. Interdependence. Our interdependent spirits cause us to grapple with the reality that we are all in this together, whether we like it or not. And so not only do I feel Reverend Washington's pain, not only do I feel the pain of the sisters and brothers who live in the Pittsburgh community, not only do I feel the pain of black people all over this country who are, and all over this world, who are victims of white supremacy, I feel Jesus' pain today. Because the most significant and consistent historical feature in the promulgation of empire has been the destruction of the black body. That's right. That's right. Representatives of empire have, from Jesus' time forward, perfected the imposition of terror on the black body, with the ultimate outcome being the nullification of black humanity through the torture of the black soul. The deep structured psychopathological practice of splitting or mental dichotomization informs the methodology behind the madness. For example, they press forward through their barbarity the claim that the body and the soul are separate and distinct one from the other, for the purpose of justifying their violent behavior and expressed hatred toward our bodies. That is how Republican congressmen can say that you don't deserve health care. You already got Jesus. You don't deserve no food stamps or no extra money in your EBT card, because Jesus gonna feed you. You don't deserve basic human respect, because Jesus gonna make everything all right. The premise is that your body can be destroyed while your soul remains intact, Or conversely, your soul can be assaulted without your body being affected, neither of which is true. That's right. A study published a few years ago in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences revealed that within the brain there is something called a neural overlap, indicating an inextricable connection between the way we process and experience social and physical pain. The study reveals through MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, scanning and observation of the operculo-insular region above and behind your ears, and the dorsal posterior insula just above your ears, there's a virtual mirroring of the feelings felt when one is wounded in the body and those felt when one is dumped, disrespected, accused, or excluded personally or socially. The study helps us to see that you can kill me by rejecting me. You can kill me by excluding me, by doing violence to my soul just as easily as you can by doing violence to my body. It's the same thing as when I walk into a room and then you and who was talking stop talking and go into a little circle. That is just as injurious to my body as you punching me in the face. When I find out you was talking about me and saying bad things about me, even though what I've been trying to do is please you. You don't have to slap me around. All you have to do is just say the orange juice ain't cold enough. And you assault my body. That's why sisters be crying out now. It ain't just about physical abuse. It's verbal abuse that is killing me. I can't stay around you because you don't know how to talk to nobody. If sisters don't understand it, that's why Negroes be running away. Yes, sir. Because you don't know how to talk to nobody. You can do just as much damage to me with mean words and bad attitudes as you can do with sticks and stones. And oh, my sister and my brethren, how I wish I was preacher enough to help you to see that Jesus was already dead before they killed him, because of the inextricable connection between the body and the soul. According to Josephus in the text Antiquities, Herod Antipas put John the Baptist to death because he feared that John or his followers might start a rebellion, a revolution. After John's COINTELPRO state-sponsored execution of Jesus continued the grassroots liberation movement that had begun with John by preaching John's basic message of repentance because the reigndom of God is imminent. Howard Keeple has written in the historical approach to the Bible that the faithful Jews tried to make at least one pilgrimage to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. When Jesus came to the city for that purpose, the Sadducees feared that he might start a revolt against the Romans. The Sadducees were opposed to Jewish revolts because they did not want to jeopardize their own prosperity, and because they recognized that a revolt could not succeed against the powerful Roman Empire. I wish I had time to play with you with this. I ain't got time today, but this is a whole lot to be unpacked. That's why you don't want me saying everything that I say, because you're afraid that it might impact your grip on prosperity. But I ain't no prosperity preacher, so I ain't got to talk like that. He goes on to write that there were two aspects of Jesus' death that definitely indicate that Pilate believed that Jesus intended to overthrow the Roman hegemonic rule and become the king. Number one, the title King of the Jews that they flung upon him in mocking disgust. And number two, the crucifixion, which was a method of execution reserved for insurrectionists, rebels, and revolutionaries. And not only that, the disciples of Christ were convinced that he was the Messiah who would restore the kingdom to Israel, which was enough evidence to the authorities to convict him and give him the death penalty. And so the irritating necessity of revolution is bursting forth in the atmosphere, infecting the air with yellow pollinated dust of liberation. Jesus has been arrested and is being manipulated by the prison industrial complex of his day. His body is now in the hand of his oppressors, and their intentions are to destroy this black body as well as his soul. Why is it that preaching a message of repentance is so intimidating to oppressive hierarchical tyrants who sit atop systems of destruction and death? I believe it is because repentance means, in essence, to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong for doing what I did to you. And people who think that they are in charge have a problem admitting that they are wrong straight up. Many of us got to make adjustments in our parenting. We don't understand why our children become teenagers and turn against us. It's because we are so inflexible with them while they do not have the power to resist us. Do you hear what I am saying? We have a difficult time admitting to our children that we were wrong, that we made a mistake, that perhaps I should not have attacked you violently for your mistake or your misbehavior. Perhaps I could have spoken to you if I had sense enough to talk to you, but I was mad and I lost all of my good sense in my anger.